Good evening, and welcome back to the Goon Multiplayer Spectacular. Currently, Sydin, the Kabuto Fujiwara, and Yukitsu, the Kamakura Minamoto, are attacking in what is the Clash of the Titan with probably the best two players in this tournament. Now, Yukitsu has brought two Mounted Samurai, Nagi Levy, a Sword Attendant, three regiments of Nagi Monks, and his Naginata Warrior Monk hero, while Sydin has bought a Bow Attendant, two Footsam, four regiments of Warrior Monks, and Tetsubo Warrior Monk Hero. Very, very melee heavy, no cavalry obviously. Now Yukitsu's come out of the gate very, very aggressive, skirmishing hard, and this is a perfectly legitimate tactic, and in fact very effective. He wants to be able to seize the Sword Dojo with his Naginata Levy while preventing his opponent from taking the farmhouse uncontested. The shrine is going to be a central point, as it is in the center of the map, and I don't think any particular side would be able to claim the shrine. Now, Sydin is being a bit too hesitant here. What he really needs to be doing is dispatch a single unit of Foot Samurai to the farmhouse, because if the Mounted Samurai want to have a shootout with the Foot Samurai, it'll be about a Koku for Koku even change. If they want to get stuck in the fight, same deal, they're tied in, he could then send in a unit to tie down the cavalry, take it out. It would really tie down a large portion of the firepower of Yukitsu's force. And as you can see, he's coming in from both sides, which is good. Yukitsu's already set up, and Sydin is moving into position to prevent taking the shrine. The Sword Dojo will be captured any second now, and the farmhouse is about half complete. So while he is trying to take the shrine here, Yukitsu's just going to pepper him with arrow fire from the general's bodyguard. Perfectly reasonable tactic and a great use of his general. His forces are nice and centralized here. As you can see, he's bringing power to the point, and that's going to be quite critical. Now, there's just too many forces of Sydin's over fighting on the farmhouse to try to hold off the threat of only two cavalry units, one of which is harassing this center point. So now, because Sydin has split his forces without giving himself a decisive advantage in doing so, and he's just noticed this and is now pulling his forces over, he's giving Yukitsu the opportunity to really bring the pressure on. And Yukitsu's got these levy coming in from the flank. They're not particularly dangerous, but everything matters when you've got this few troops. Sydin's army could really use a little bit of bulking up, in my opinion, and not bringing any cavalry at all and ceding the movement advantage on an open battlefield like this is disastrous. Now, this is a particularly poor counterattack from Sydin, as he's got all of his forces clumped up. His monks they're very deep, but they're very thin. So immediately, what's happening is they're going to be captured on the flank here and have troops brought in from the rear. Very intelligently, Yukitsu has realized that he has the morale advantage, so he's dropped whistling arrows on this whole group and Warcry, and despite whistling arrows and Warcry hitting his own troops, the numbers and the fact these monks are flanked has freaked him out. Sydin's paid a pretty heavy price here for the fact that his general wasn't in range and ready with the rally. And the reason for this is, of course, look, he's lost half his monks. I'd say probably maybe 20 or 30 out of each unit would have been from them getting... You can just watch them get cut down as they're running away. And so they're not fighting, and so immediately the melee advantage has been turned on its head, because with the Sword Dojo, and without any extra maneuverability that the cavalry gives you, a single mounted Naginata, for example, would have been significantly more useful than the warrior monks. And in fact, you could have probably swapped out the bow attendants for another regiment of foot samurai, perhaps, since the mounted samurai are slightly cheaper than the warrior monks, if I recall correctly. And that'd just give him, because he has the farmhouse, he'd have the speed he needs to catch these mounted samurai and tie them down and take them out, and it would just be incredibly effective. Alternatively, he could be using it to harass the general. Now, as you can see, we've got one general in standard fight from Yukitsu, and Sydin's just got no chance. He's just been ground out, and pure firepower took him down. His issue was that he got bunched up on the corner right here. It was too tight. He needed wide frontage. He had the troop advantage. He could afford to deploy a wide frontage, try to catch multiple enemy units with one or two of his, have his general behind in stand and fight, maybe rally, inspire, then stand and fight, to drop that as a battle line to hold. His monks would have been in good condition. He could have then brought further forces round, put pressure on this flank here, while still bringing forces round from this side here and which may have opened them up to the mounted samurai, but nevertheless, it was a good battle. He played well. He got caught on the geometry a little bit. He got a little bit flustered. He wasn't sure what he wanted to do. The mounted samurai caught him on the hop, and it was great play by Yukitsu to bring those and to keep the pressure on his opponent, because it meant that Sydin was playing Yukitsu's game, and if your opponent is playing your game, you've already won. Well, I hope you enjoyed the first match, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Thanks for watching, everyone.